you know, he seemed okay health-wise at the beginning of the year. But then, like, about a month or so in, and then we started to notice, you know, that something was not right.
About end of June, you could tell that he was deteriorating a little bit.
You got to know Ray. He did not want you to ask him what was wrong. Here's my broadcast partner, 18 years, and I know him well enough that he does not want me to say, Ray, what's wrong? You all right? Looks like something's wrong.
It just wasn't him. So, you know, we decided to take him off the broadcast and get some rest for the weekend. And he pleaded to come back and do a game against the Padres. And I said, yeah, you sound great. Come back, you know. And game time came around. He wasn't around. And he was in the parking lot.
We were at the ball game, and you know, I'm down below, and I'm hearing that, hey, Fosse might not be here on time. We knew that he wasn't going to be in a spot to be able to do the broadcast. No problem, not a big deal at all. Like, we want to make sure he's okay. And so that was, I mean, that was the last time. That was the last time I got to even see him.
The last time I saw him was in the broadcast booth, and the EMTs were taking him out of there, and he couldn't do the game. He wasn't in the right place to do that. So, and I think that, looking back on it, they had to drag him out of the broadcast booth. And that's probably the way he'd want it.
I know he wanted to make it to the end of the season. That was important to him. How about that? The guy's sick, but he was like, I want to get, you know, I want to make it to the end of the season, and then I'll go home and, you know.
It really first hurt in spring training. When you were there in spring training and Ray Fosse wasn't there, it really hit you that this has changed forever.
He was excited when the season started. He was really excited when spring training started, because that was it. That was his thing. Baseball's back. You know, so you missed that just in general, and then it was the first time where you were at the ballpark and he wasn't there.
Opening day was the happiest day for Ray, and the last day of the season was the saddest day for Ray. So knowing how happy he was that baseball was back, and no matter who was throwing on the uniform for the A's, he was going to be there for the whole year and be behind him and talk about him. And it was difficult. I mean, we sat in the truck producing. I was producing the game, and it was the only time in my life where I actually started to cry during the game. And because I not only did I miss him, but the outpouring from the fans and the team. It was a tough time.
Fans, in lieu of a moment of silence, let's hold up your cards and cheer for Ray Fosse.
Fosse and I would come up, and we would just go into his office, and he'd be kind of putting around and looking at scorebooks and looking at old scorecards, and that's where he'd eventually get to like the last series, last week or whatever, and we're having those conversations. And it's kind of like BP, pregame warm-up. But it wasn't work. It doesn't feel like, again, I get to go to a Major League Stadium and talk to Ray Fosse about A's baseball. And I get to, it's just, yeah. I miss him, man. A lot.
I wish there was more time for all of us to show him. That's the frustrating part. We never got to truly show or say to him the things that we wanted to, because it turned and ended so quickly.
There's a big hole here without him, and you feel it every night because he's not on the broadcast. Every time, you know, our TV broadcast comes on, you know that Ray's not there. It's a huge, huge figurative and literal hole to fill without him there. The beauty of having those clips and those highlights is that forever A's fans will be able to hear, you know, how much he loved being a broadcaster and how excited he was when the team was doing well.
I think Ray Fosse's legacy is different to everybody because if you're a fan, right, it was the way he delivered the game in a very calm and appropriate and straight to the point way, right? That's what the viewers loved and appreciated, is that he was very even keel. He was always there. Like, if the game's on, Ray's on.
He was a broadcaster for 30 years for the same team. That's really hard to do. And not only just a broadcaster, but one of the main broadcasters and really good at it.
He really is one of the most important figures in our franchise's history because Ray blends everything together. From the players of the 70s, the fans of the 70s, to all the years being an ambassador for the team, a broadcaster for the team. So no matter what age you are as an A's fan, you know Ray Fosse as the A's.
If you look at Oakland baseball across all the years, 50 plus years, I mean, basically since '73, there's been 3 constants over the years. Ray Fosse either on the team or calling games, the colors of green and gold, and the fact that this team plays their home games at the Coliseum. Those 3 things for the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, the 2010s, and into the 2020s, those were all constants. And I just feel like he was such a pillar of the organization, and his love for the organization was so constant, you never even fathomed it instantly going away. He was very much, you know, part of the true fabric of the organization.
To have success as a player with the team, big success, and then have that same kind of success as a broadcaster for an even longer stretch of time, that's a pretty good career.
There's people who their entire day is centered around hearing Kipe and Foss call the games, right? And every night they turn the TV on and there's Ray Fosse, he's in your living room. You invite him into your house every night to listen to him broadcast the A's and talk baseball and learn baseball, and he's a part of the family. He wanted everyone to be this one giant, big A's family, and I think he did that on a nightly basis.
Is this fun or what? This is baseball. Wow.